A watch today isn't just about telling time, right? Our phones do that. Watches are about sparking emotion, carrying presence, and offering that intangible je ne sais quoi we demand on the wrist. And here we are, with a new Ming Iris. It is not shy, it is not discreet. It's a watch that demands you look and then look again, because it never appears the same twice. The 5704 Iris isn't just another watch for Ming, it's a statement. It's the debut of Ming's 5th generation design language, and for the first time it's also a Monopusher chronograph with the crown and pusher on the left, a destro if you will. Now let's start here with the case and lugs as a whole, because this is quite different. Very much a Ming case, if you will, but very different from what we have seen before. So let's start with the lugs, because I think they might be the single best part of the watch, and when reading online it appears to be the most controversial part of the watch. So I don't think everybody will agree here with me, but that is not very important to me. It's interesting because when you look at this watch, it has this very wild dial, yet all the talk is about these lugs. Now, these lugs aren't just sculpted out of one block of steel, so they are built like an architectural puzzle. 9 separate components locked together. So why would they do this? I asked them, why would you do that? That sounds like so much effort for what actually? And the reason is that that is the only way that they could finish these lugs in the way they are finished right now. So with every facet finished in its own particular way. So it gives the whole case this stepped feeling, right? It's not the kind of case you just glance at once and be done. Initially I strapped it on and I looked at it, but then looked closer and it rewards this closer inspection. To me, it also shows the confidence of a brand that is not afraid to invest serious effort into something most people would probably never even notice consciously, right? But on the wrist you feel it, you see it. Yeah, maximum points for effort here in my book. Now let's move to the dial here. So the watch is after all called the Iris, and I would say the naming, the Iris of this watch, Iris as the name of the watch, I mean, isn't just poetic, right? It's to be taken quite literal. So like the eye here, this watch really looks very different every time you blink, if you will. At some angles the color is substantially different, so you will see some purple, blue, green, all kinds of colors there mixed together, and that effect comes from a multiphasic coating which is laid over a fluted brass base, and it really does give the dial a living quality, as though it's breathing with the light. This dial, however, does not fly under the radar. But this isn't just about the color, so also look at the shape of the dial. So instead of curving a little bit upwards, like a bowl if you will, this dial sinks inward quite dramatically, like a dinner plate if you will. So the details keep stacking here when you're looking at the dial. So the indices aren't applied to the dial, they are laser cut into the underside of the top crystal. And then they are filled with what Ming calls then the polar white luminous material. So at night they float a little bit above the dial. The chronograph minute counter at 6 o'clock is kind of doing its own thing, but also receives the lume treatment. Now about the case size and the wearability, which is of course important. We are still talking about a wristwatch here. So Ming has traditionally played in the smaller case size arena, so very nicely proportioned watches, but the Iris here steps up to 40 millimeters. On paper that sounds like a jump. On the wrist I would say it's carefully proportioned. If you have a really small wrist, I don't know if that's a deal breaker here for you. More important is the lug to lug distance perhaps, so you're a hair under 48 millimeters. I would say that's not small. It's still comfortable, but it's not small by any definition. And the thickness as well, it's not a thick watch, but it's certainly not a thin watch. So it's nearly 12 millimeters. It certainly has presence on the wrist, but again, the way they finish the sides and work the case and those lugs, it does not feel clunky, if I can put it that way. Inside the watch then there is this special movement developed with Celita. So it's a manual wind, which means you get the pleasure of interaction, and it offers a central chronograph seconds hand with a 30-minute counter at 6. And of course you have this destro layout, so crown and pusher are on the left, and that does two things, I believe. So it allows the crown and pusher to be rather oversized and tactile, right, without digging into your wrist, because you keep it on the left side there, far away from your hand. But I think it also helps with keeping the watch appear better proportioned if you wear this on your left wrist. I'm not sure if that's what Ming intended, but I have a sense that that could be a reason for it. Pressing the monopusher is perfectly satisfying with a defined click, and it gives you confidence in every start, stop and reset. There is no guessing whether you engaged the mechanism correctly or not. Now the Iris overall, from my point of view, is quite a statement by Ming. This is a very bold release, and to me it says Ming is confident enough to make watches that are just absolutely distinctive, watches that do not blend in but stand apart. This is a Ming watch with a serious attitude. A 40mm stainless steel monopusher chronograph with 100 meters of water resistance, a case made from 9 components just for the lugs, a dial that refuses to bow down and be called any single color, and a movement that is both practical and fun, wrapped up in a design that defines a whole new chapter for the brand. This is the Ming Iris. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.